Italian cities, how creative are they? I mean, obviously they've had historical creativity, and creativity is still there, I think, personally, but often you feel things are happening in spite of. And whenever I've worked in Italy, I've always been confronted with this organizational spaghetti and layers of sedimented organizational structures whose power is often to say no rather than to say yes, let's do something. So, in spite of, which is my big message, I think various cities I know, and I don't know, obviously I only know some Italian cities, I think Bologna in certain respects is doing very well in terms of applying smart city logic, which is all about technology. I think obviously there's incredible energy in the small enterprise sector, which Italy is obviously known for. But it's basically the political framework and public framework which is blocking many things. My own personal view is that really the whole open data movement may be one area where one can release the power of the citizenry, which might, for example, if you're looking at new apps, it's happened in Washington, Helsinki, Amsterdam, and many other cities, that has partly reinvented, or is in a process of reinventing democracy. Well, that's a big statement, but it's one element of that. And what is good about that is that it's obviously bottom up. So there's a set of issues which I think is quite interesting. Typically, when you say, how do you create a trigger or a catalyst for something to change, and normally it is crisis. Crisis, of course, is opportunity and threat. However, Italy has defined itself as being in permanent crisis for 50 years. So you've got an anomaly here, because normally a place responds when the conditions are as critical as they have been in various sectors in Italy. So to some extent, I'm at a loss, because I might have to say, how bad does it have to get? Now, what I, on the other hand, feel about Italy, and I like Italy, I studied here and I have a house here, is obviously is the resilience that is revealed within the population. But just to take an example, today we had a session on quite interesting topics. The leaders, the officials, the industrial people come in and welcome and then immediately leave. That is classical. If you go to other countries, those people will at least listen and try and learn. So what is the leadership learning here? And that is my worry. Your question is where to start. I think it is really, I don't want to say protest, but it is these other groups that are from below. And I'm not saying this just because you're asking that question about below. There is a need for some real reinvigoration, because there's not a problem about intellect, there's not a problem about intelligence, there's not a problem about resources, there's not a problem of inspiration from the past. There's a problem of what I'm calling the sedimentation of organizational structures which aren't moving sideways. If Italy did just one thing, every time a new initiative started, if an old organization could move out of the way, that might be the best solution, rather than one layer on top of each other.